Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Big Bala Brands podcast. Thank you guys so much for being here, wherever you are in the world, tuning in right now. And if you're watching the World Cup, go whatever your country may be. And thank you again to my return listeners for always coming back, and to my new listeners. This is I'm here for you guys. I'm not here for me. I'm here for you guys every week. I show up for you guys, and you guys show up for yourselves. I want to ask you guys a question, and it's going to require you doing a little bit of work for yourself. Do you know what your 12-month number is? What about your 6-month number? What about your 90-day number? And if this is not familiar to you, or maybe you do know this, just a little refresher, what I'm basically asking you is, what does it cost you to live for 12 months, for 6 months, for 3 months? And I get that everyone's circumstances are very different, right? Everyone's got a different living thing going on. Some are single, some are married, kids. Everyone's got something different going on, right? Everyone. So apply this to yourself in your life as best you can. What I want you to do now, if you're driving, don't do this. Consider looking at your bank account and looking at the past 90 days of transactions. What came out of your bank account, what came into your bank account. And I want you to approximate based on what the numbers are, because there's going to be numbers that are consistent and there's going to be some that fluctuate. There's going to be the bills that are repeated every month, but then there's going to be some things that are unexpected, some things that you're treating yourself, things like that. But get as close to a 90-day number as you can. Add it all up. And if you do a lot of cash transactions, this is what I've done before. Anytime I spent some cash, I always made note of it, and I gave myself a number based on what that month was, and I basically approximately timed it by 3 months. So what I was really doing between my what's in my bank, what I'm paying as a cash transaction, is I'm giving myself a full scope of, okay, what does it cost me to live? Now again, some people have health they got to deal with. Some people, you may be a traveler, kids are involved, you got pets. Again, everyone's circumstances are different. You invest, or if you don't invest, this is going to help you get to that point better too. What I want you to look at is, if you have a 90-day number, and I don't want you to be conservative here, I want you to look at that and add to it, add a little more, because things happen in life. You can never, you got to be prepared for the unexpected. And when you multiply that number by 12 months, you're going to see the big picture. And what I want you to do with that big picture, say, okay, this is how much it cost me to live for a year. Now, having that is, okay, you see the number visually, you see it on paper, now you know. So, what is the difference between that number and what you actually make after taxes and all? How much of a margin of safety do you have? Is it really big? Is it small? Is it medium? Are you comfortable with it? And the in between there is what you could apply to savings, rainy day funds. If you're not an investor, consider starting to use that as investment money. Look for those tax free accounts. But I also want you to do this for another reason, because things change in life, right? We go through transitions, through unexpected scenarios. Maybe you want to start a business and you're thinking, how long is it going to take until my business launches and get my first customer, client, whatever, and start making money? Or maybe you got to be prepared, because someday you might get, not to say you might get or might not get, I don't know. You may get laid off, you get fired, you get let go. Things happen in life, in everyone's career. How much of a bridge time might you need to get from this phase to this phase? How you're basically trying to find a way to make purgatory or limbo tolerable. And so the number does a lot for you, because it kind of gives people a little bit of that certainty. Okay, this is what it costs me to live. Maybe I need to find a way to make more income, because my margin of in between is really small between what I make and what I spend. You might be already feeling that right now, and you're trying to look for some way to navigate it. But things happen in life, and you got to be prepared. So it does require a little more work. I get it, because once you know the number, you're thinking, oh my God, how am I supposed to save up for a whole year with the salary that covers already my whole year? You got to find ways to make a little extra income. Got to find ways to use some skills you have to make a little more on the side. The point of it is you want to know what that number is. And then you strategize how to move forward with it. Because even if you make 50,000 a year, and let's say you get away with spending 30,000 a year, which I know is a low number, but now you know, you get it. So you look for ways to how to make that number go higher for yourself, right? Prepare for, excuse me, prepare for the unexpected. And again, this is what I've done many times. I look at my month to month. I say, okay, this is what it cost me for 90 days. This is what it would cost me for a year. If I can get into this range of income and this is what it cost me to live, I'm Gucci, I'm safe, I'm okay, I'm good to go, right? But then you got to figure out what to do with that in between. What's the most productive way to take that and make it work for you? Give you more, make more, grow it, all those things. So again, it's an exercise you should do. And I know for some that's probably scary. Probably don't want to look at that number. Or maybe you've never looked at it before and thought of it that way. Here's your opportunity. So look at what it is even for 6 months or just for 3 months. Give yourself a 3 month grace period. Right? What does that look like? And here's the other thing I want to leave you with. Excuse me. When it comes to making purchasing decisions, I want you guys to ask 3 questions. I borrow this from somebody, but I have my own kind of ways I evaluate purchasing decisions. And it can be for $100, for $50, for $500, $1,000. Number one, are you going to want to make this purchase in 90 days? Think about it. If you wait 90 days and it doesn't matter, then there's your answer. If you wait 90 days. Number two, is this purchase replacing something? Or are you just adding more to your life? Essentially, like recycling things. And number three, are you doing it because you're trying to show the world something? Validation, showing off, whatever. And the reason I'm telling you guys this is because you guys have to look at it as the value of what you're purchasing and what it took you with your time and energy to work for this purchase. Now, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm not telling you to be cheap and frugal to the point to where you don't give yourself something nice. But knowing these questions of this tool can help you avoid making purchasing decisions that just don't serve you, put you in a bad financial situation, and just add to having things in your life you don't really need. So that being said, you can use that framework of questions to help you make different purchasing choices and evaluate the decisions you're making and have a better financial purchasing power or mindset. And as for the number, just keep that in mind if you want to do it, which I encourage you to do it. You should absolutely do it. Again, know what your 30-day number is. Start small, then build up to knowing what your 90-day number. What does it cost you to live for 6 months? What does it cost you to live for the whole year? And then how do you make that the income grow? How do you create a bigger margin of safety, of life, of all that for yourself? So, anyways, thank you guys again for tuning in. As always, subscribe to my channel, like this, leave a comment. Again, this is always on many platforms: YouTube, Apple, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. So, as always, thank you guys so much for showing up for yourself. And I'll catch you guys next week. Have a beautiful week ahead.